Welcome to the Icaran sector and welcome to another build and paint video. I picked up this month's model, which is one of the new Leagues of Votann models. So jumping on the bandwagon, let's have a look what's in the box. So I just picked this up today. I thought it'd be interesting to have a build and a paint and see what's what. The only trouble is, they didn't actually give me a base for it. So I don't actually have a 28mm base. So we'll make it more dioramic and put him on a 32 and that should be fine. So what do we have? We have back, front, gun arms, and is it just the one trace of head? It looks like it, doesn't it? Does he have a mechanical leg? 2 mechanical legs? Interesting. So let's get this fella built up. And is that some kind of bolt gun? I don't know what comes on these guys, but let's get him built up and come back in and see what we've got working with. So we've got him made up. I put the guns. Oh, he's not quite. Come off the base anyway. Put him back on in a second. So yeah, like I said, I think he's got 2 robotic legs because their ankles are very, very, very slim. So to make them a bit more metallic-y, we've got the whatever gun their standard troops are equipped with, and they're actually really nice grooves that this one slots into. So there's just a flat surface and there's a nice groove there. So I've made that so it should just hook on after we finish and we can get some more detail done on there. Now I do need to find some inspiration and decide how I want to paint him up. That is very much the question. Alright, so we've based him in black. And then I was speaking to some of my friends about challenges for paint schemes because I had an idea, and somebody suggested quartered, luminous green and orange. I didn't actually fancy doing the quartering, so I'm chicking out and doing him luminous green with red lenses, red detailing on any screens or anything. I don't think there's much apart from his face there. Then his cloth in grey. So we've got Tesseract glow for his main colour. So I'm going to do him lead belcher and the Tesseract on the glowy parts, and then metallic silver details. So I've got some AK silver, and then I've got some Agrax and Nullin for various other bits. For the greens, I've got some Nurgling green and Death Guard green to do a little bits with as we see. We'll do Blood Angels red for the lenses, and then we've got Wild Rider and Evil Sons. And then in the greys, we've got Mechanica Standard Grey, Dawnstone, Ulthuan Grey, and the Apothecary White, which is good for that, and then Celestra as well. Get him silvered up where he needs to be silver, and then start applying the Tesseract and see how that goes. Right, we'll jump back with him silver bits silvered. Alright, so we've got the silver on the legs, which I think will stay metallic. The pads and things, we will see what happens when we put Tesseract on them. This is probably going to need a few layers, I would imagine. Let's have a look and see. Well, that's pretty funky. Okay. I'm doing that completely off camera. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, will take a few layers to get it settled in. Let's have a look on the side here. Actually, I kind of like that. Yeah, all right. Let's see how he looks. We'll give him at least 2 layers of the Tesseract and then jump in and see how he looks with his glow. Actually, no, like I said, actually, I quite like that. Let's see him go. So we have a couple of layers of the Tesseract glow down. And I must admit, I like that. I like that a lot. That is quite vibrant and funky. It looks like a hazmat suit, but I like it. So I think what I'm going to do is take some of the Nurgling green and actually run it underneath the panels to underline it rather than highlight it. So just do little bits on the recesses to darken them off. Then maybe wash in Nullin and then put the Tesseract glow, just dab it back onto the highlight areas and see how that looks. So I'm not going to try and underline the panels through a camera lens, so I will go away and do that separately and see how that looks, and we will jump back with that and see what we need to do about the Nullin oil. So we'll do that first and come back. Let's see if that actually comes up on camera. But yeah, doing the under actually works, just darkens it off, which means that should we get our Nullin and give him a bit of a Nullin bath. Should, yeah. Play off the two paints slightly differently. Yes, that seems to be working. Nice dip in Nullin. That's a good indication on here. It seems to be sticking a bit more on the 2 lines I painted there. Yeah. And try it down his legs. So I will get the feet darkened off a bit. I'll soak nicely into the recesses there. Yeah, it's quite different. Maybe bring in a little bit of brass around the bottom of his feet, maybe. We managed to get everything. Another splash on his back. That tucked into the recesses. Yes, that works for me. So I need to let that dry and then touch up the main panels with a bit more of the Tesseract just to pop them out a bit. And then we shall look at his faceplate lens. I'm going to call that completely a lens, I think. Ooh. Yeah, so we'll focus in on that and then see how that looks. Okay, so he got washed in Nullin, and then I had an idea. I took the silver and did some edge highlights and some sort of where the light highlights would be, and then reapplied the Tesseract. So there are brighter edges, sort of an edge highlight of sorts, and then the brighter pads reflecting brighter on there. I don't know if it shows up too well on camera, but it is quite nicely there in person. So yeah, I'm happy with how he's coming along so far. So the next step is, I think I'm going to 50-50 water and standard Mechanicus grey and do all of his cloth, and then come back and figure out how I'm gonna do the next bits of that. I'll do one wash of the Mechanicus and see how it looks. See if we can keep some of the darker blacks in the recesses. That could be interesting as we layer up with some of the lighter greys as we go up. And also his faceplate lens as well. Like I said, we just call that all one lens in different sections for how I'm planning. And then some brasses and maybe coppers on the gun. I think these panels I'll do black, then red across the top, and then brass in some of the sections there as well. And yeah, but first, the grey. So we've got his face that in red and sort of silvered out, apart from the lens which stays red. I've done his body in just one coat of thinned down Mechanicum Standard, and then I've done some silver dots for the studs and things, and then the same on the gun here, but the blacks and the reds done, and then some brasses as I was sort of saying there, and then again the Mechanicus Standard grey. And what we'll do now, I think I'll 50-50 Dawnstone and Mechanicum Standard, and then sort of do it as a sort of brush down to try and leave the recesses darker. Then maybe a wash of Nuln Oil, and then reapply some of the 50-50 mix. Then Dawnstone and Celestra Grey as some of the highlights on both there, and then maybe pick out just pure Celestra for some of the pads and things, for some of the gloves and the markings, and then do his arm equipment, get some colours on that. Maybe there's a screening there somewhere, I think. Well, the screen's just at the end there, I think. So we'll get that in red, and then I need to just silver up his grenade on his back and make sure that's stayed silver. First things first, let's worry about the Dawnstone and Dawnstone and Mechanics 50-50, washing Nuln, and then jump right back in and see how he's looking. Okay, so I got the 50-50, and I brushed down. So there is a little bit darker recesses still kind of under there. And same again for the arms. The arms appear about the same. And then I've washed it in Nuln, and that's just sort of drying now. So actually I don't think I'm going to do the more 50-50. I'm just going to take some Dawnstone and highlight, and then some less Celestra Grey and highlight. Same again here, and then the straps and the outline I think I'll do completely Celestra, and I think I might do Celestra Ulthuan 50-50 mix for the actual padding itself, and maybe the border there and the 3 pads there. So yeah, we'll do that and see how that looks. And yeah, so he's certainly coming along. It's a fun little model. And he still looks like a hazmat suit. Right. Highlighting, and then jump back, and then we'll just do the final details in the base. Alright, so we've glued his arms on. I've put the silver down for the buttons and panel on his arm, and we've done the 50-50 Ulthuan and Celestra there, and then built up lines with Dawnstone and Celestra. So there's highlights there. Did I do the silver buttons before? Part of this one? We will see. Right. So basically, we just need to finish him off now. I just need to do panel on his arm, get him off here, try this one out, this brown soil effect, see how that looks, and then get some tufts and maybe a little bit UV resin. We'll come back. So we've got him varnished off with a matte varnish, and then done a gloss on the lenses, on his buttons on the back, on the front, on his arm, and on the grenade as well. And the base we've put down there. I've put the rocks in just now because hoping if I take them off, they'll be, once it's dried, there'll be little sort of smallish holes that we can fill up with a few other things. We'll put plants and things down, but we will go from there. All right, so partway through the base, so we're going for a sort of marshy effect. So we've got some Green Stuff World basing materials on top of the Tamiya soil effect that I was using. So I've done the grass and then washed it in a bit of Agrax at the bottom. So what I'm going to attempt to do is I've got UV resin, UV lamp, and I have, it is my implement. So I'm going to put a bit of UV resin down and then mixing some Agrax and swirl it around a bit in these gaps here. And then hit it with put it under the UV lamp. So yeah, this is the fun part of the video. So that will then come out. Oh yes. Okay, so it's kind of pulled up a little bit. That's okay, just dirty water. All right, let's get some on this side as well. Just a little bit of the resin. And mix in some Agrax, spread it around. And a bit over there. That as well, and then back under the UV light, and then we'll get him on and we'll put a bit of mud. So yeah, we'll get him on, we'll put some mud around his feet and up a bit onto his ankles, maybe dab a little bit of the resin to make a bit of a water effect, but we'll do that in a second. All right, let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's come out quite nicely, certainly very boggy. Maybe didn't get that bit mixed in enough, but that's okay. I would imagine his feet will cover some of that sin. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so last thing to do is get him glued down to the base, and then we'll do the last effects, and then we'll repaint the rim black just to keep it a bit cleaner. All right, we'll come back in and it should be pretty much the end of the video. And here we have him, completely complete. So yeah, the base, I glued him to it, put some more of the earth, Agrax, and then in some places just added some more of the resin and sealed that off with the UV light, and then give it a black run around the edge there. And yeah, I have a lot of fun with this guy. The tentative plan right now is to see if these guys get kill team rules. Probably make up a kill team. I guess I can't really use this guy because he's on a 32 base rather than a 28. But hopefully, if a kill team for Votann is just a single box of troops, then that could be quite a fun little attachment. Wonder if they'll get White Dwarf rules first. Keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye on Instagram for more models. I must find a way to get some beauty shots on video for these guys. But for now, please check out the Instagram Icaran_sector for his close-ups. And yeah, we roll here will tootle off and go stand on the shelf of interesting items until he gets some friends at some point. But that being said, please do like, subscribe, follow along, join us in the comments section. Let me know what you think. Have you painted any of these Votann models? What did you think of them? If you've seen any other good different paint schemes in videos, put some comments down below. Share your favorite scheme in video. That being said, we will see you in the next video. More battle reports. My next project will be my October video, and we will see you then.